Let's talk about flan. Welcome back to Sprung On Food. I'm your host, Kae Sprung. This season, we're talking about favorite foods, the history behind it, and the role it plays in the world today. Joining me today is comedian, actor, and podcaster, Oscar Montoya. Oscar, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Well, I am very excited that you are here. Not only are you a very funny person, but this food, flan, your favorite food, is literally in your Instagram bio.
Yes.
So I already know that you're a fan, but I have to know why this is your favorite food.
Number one, thank you so much for having me. I'm vibrating on a high
Ooh.
frequency right now because I get to talk about the thing that makes me the most happy, which is flan. Hey, why do I love flan so much? Have you tasted it? It's incredible. I'm a big sweets person. I'm the kind of person that will eat dessert before a meal.
Love
Just
it.
just because I don't want to get too full and then not have dessert. That's insane. No, I want to have a nice little dessert. I savor that, and then I'm like, okay, now it's time to do the boring stuff, which is to eat dinner,
All of our nutrients,
all of
yes.
our
Yeah.
nutrients to survive. And for me, I'm from Colombia. I grew up in Colombia. Flan was so everywhere that it was relatively simple to make, and I had it so much. I associate flan with a comfort food. It felt very safe. It reminds me of home. And the variety of flavors of flan. You can put anything in flan. It's so versatile. And I love that sort of custard, sort of pudding. That's my favorite sort of palate. Old people food.
Listen, it's great. There was another episode where we were talking about consistencies of food and how now we can put custard, of course, into the mix. But I think we were talking about, it was a soup episode, and it was just how so accessible to everybody because you don't even need teeth. So from baby to the last day of life,
Very true.
if you've got teeth or at any point in between, if you had oral surgery, braces, it's very accessible to everybody.
Soup is one of those miracle foods, isn't it? You can put anything in a soup. Soup
It's
can taste
true.
like anything.
Yes. So
You
even
can
a
have
food
sweet
that's
soup too.
Listen, you're not wrong. And a food that is very much solid, you can then blenderize it into a soup. So but
Wow.
I don't know. Have you ever tried that with have you ever had a flan soup? Well, I guess before you bake it, you could just have you ever done
Yeah,
that?
just
Have
sip
you
it
ever been
up,
like,
I guess.
yeah, before it
I'm
gets
sure it
baked?
tastes delicious,
Yeah, it tastes the
but
same.
I
But I
would
think
never think to drink it.
I don't think you should. I mean, well, it's your life, free will. You do what you want. But I think baking it gives it that very quintessential experience, especially the one that you're looking for in terms
Yes.
of texture.
Yes,
So,
yes. Also, it looks so aesthetically pleasing. It's
hmm
the flan that I envision in a lot of cookbooks and the way that it's sort of presented. It looks like a mesa, like a nice.
ah,
It looks it looks like the Southwest to me.
ooh, that's a beautifully
Looks like
painted
Arizona to
picture.
me.
Yes, and just saying that, I know exactly what you mean. Have Do you make it yourself?
I have made it once. I'm
Oh.
notoriously terrible at making anything. I'm
Mm.
not a good cook at all. And that extends to desserts because that flan was not very good.
Oh, no. But you
Um,
only tried one time, so it
I've
could
only
get
tried
better.
one. That's true. If I do love it, I should learn how to make it. Maybe I'll
I
fall in
mean,
love with it even more.
I think so. I mean, maybe even after this, you'll feel even more inspired, hopefully, to give it a go. And but I will say it is pretty simplistic in the making part.
Mm,
I think it's just a matter of waiting, and it can take a little while.
that's
And
true. Have
you know,
you what
yes.
wait, what's your connection with flan? You've had flan before.
Oh, I've had flan. Oh, and I've made flan, and I
You've
love
made
it. Yeah.
flan.
Oh, yeah. I'll send you some pics after this.
Oh my gosh, how
Yeah.
exciting.
I know, and I'll have to tell you that the most rewarding part of it is when you do that flip
Oh,
and it comes out and it actually comes out, which is step number 1. And then
right.
you have, the caramel that just kind of pools down the sides a little bit. It's very romantic.
It's come on.
I know.
talk about presentation of meal. It's
Mhm.
like it's there, and it requires this fun little activity of flipping it over. It reminds me of like science fair experiment in
Aha.
grade school. Just the flipping over aspect of like, ah, look, now it's something
Yes.
totally different. It's like, oh yeah,
Yes.
I love that.
The reveal, yeah, it can also be a little bit stressful because you're like, "Oh, I put this work in, it took all this time to bake, and now if it doesn't come out properly, like." But I mean, I think at the end of the day, perhaps, and maybe this can be your trial run when
Hmm.
you're making it for your second time, if for whatever reason it's not flopping out how it should, at the end of the day, you still probably have a really delicious flan, and you can just spoon right in there and,
I mean,
like,
absolutely.
close your eyes and imagine what it could potentially look like, but,
Close
you
my
know.
eyes and think of Arizona.
Yes, that's beautiful. Well, Oscar, of course, to better understand and appreciate our food, we've got to know where it came from.
I'm all ears. Tell me. This
Yes,
is the riveting.
buckle in because here we go. Flan is a dessert that feels just as natural sitting on a silver tray in a Spanish palace as it does in an abuela's cozy Mexico City kitchen. It's a silky, wobbly treat that's been claimed by empires, infused with caramel, and transported across continents. A glossy custard crowned with golden caramel, equal parts elegant, comforting, and a little mysterious. Today, we're diving spoon first into the origin, history, and cultural journey of flan, how it began, who it fed, and why this humble custard has become a global icon, especially in Latin America. Let's roll back centuries. Flan has a deep, ancient, and surprisingly Roman history. Wait, what? Roman? Well, flan didn't just pop up one day in a Spanish kitchen. Like many dishes that feel traditional or local, flan has roots that go way back to ancient Rome. That's right.
What?
The Romans who gave us aqueducts, roads, and custard. Yes. The word flan itself comes from Old French flan, which traces back to the Latin word flato, meaning flat cake. And this Latin term was likely borrowed from a Germanic root, probably a word akin to flato in Old High German, which also means flat cake or dish. So, linguistically, flan started out as a broad term for baked dish, sweet or savory, but eventually narrowed into the silky dessert we know today. Oscar, we're just getting started in our story, but would you have guessed that flan has
Not.
Roman roots and the name is so linked to all of these different languages?
Not at all. And you know what? Now that I think about it, of course the Romans were the ones that developed flan. They're known for feasting, they're known for decadence, they're known for extravagance. So, yeah, this sort of fits the brand of the Romans.
Okay, all right. So we're making this connection, which is, but yeah, I before honestly doing my research, I didn't know either. And I was like,
Yeah.
am I reading this correctly?
Yes.
Squeaky
Also
squeaky. And then I
flat
was like, yeah.
cake. How
Uh-huh.
what a interesting way to describe a flan. Not
Yeah.
soft, not squishy, not
No.
silky cake, flat cake. Which yes,
Yes.
true, but interesting.
Yeah, yeah. If we could go back in time and ask them about this etymology, wouldn't
Yeah.
that be something? But flat guys, really? That's the
Fl-
best you could have done? But apparently, that's
That's
what
what it
it
was.
was. Yeah. Now, the Romans had chickens, and more importantly, those chickens had a lot of eggs. According to Roman agricultural writings, like those by Colonial and Apicius, the latter might sound familiar if you've heard the Sprung on Food History of Lasagna and History of Split Pea Soup episodes, which you can catch on YouTube or available wherever you get your podcasts. Eggs were used in various forms of cooking, including custards. The Roman version of flan, however, wasn't always sweet. In fact, the earliest custards were often savory, flavored with things like fish sauce, eel, and spices. One famous recipe from Apicius, de Re Coquinaria, calls for a kind of baked egg and milk dish made with honey, potentially our first version of flan. The Romans knew how to make custard, and they had the kitchen tech and know how to bake it. They would use water baths or bain-marie, a method still used today to gently cook eggs and melt chocolate. Oscar, what do you think about the idea of a savory flan?
I with fish sauce?
Hmm.
Hmm. I'm so accustomed to flan being a sweet dish to
Right.
even think of it as a savory. I mean, I did say earlier you can put anything in a flan, and I guess you could put anything in a flan. Now, is that
Mhm.
something that I'd like to try? I'd like to keep it sweet, thank you very much.
Okay. Fair and respectable. Yeah, because I'm only, like, imagining right now your dessert flan that then like merges into like your savory flan as like a whole meal, and that just sounds like
Oh my god, a whole
overwhelming.
flan journey. You got your
God.
savory, your swe oh my gosh, yeah, that might be a little too intense.
Yeah, and then instead of a wine pairing, it's just the liquid version to wash it all down. God. Well, we'll make sure that no place ever does
I
this,
know. Oh
but
my gosh.
yeah,
But then
yeah.
what if it's delicious?
Okay, then only one way to find out. You can host the very first flan 3-course
Right.
meal pop-up.
The flan experience.
Listen, I'll buy a ticket. I'll do it just to try, right? You only live once.
But listen, I feel like you could put, like, pieces of bacon in a flan and it'll taste great because
Yeah.
bacon goes really well with, like, honey or caramel sweet stuff, so but then like, have flan and then sort of chew on
Like
solid stuff feels a
texture
little odd.
pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
think I think I'm on board with you on that. I think, yeah, there is just something very kind of like pleasing about the consistency
Yes.
of like
It
the
feels easy, doesn't it? Like,
yes.
there's
Again, no
an
teeth.
ease
Yes, so
about no
easy.
teeth and no
Yeah.
teeth.
Yeah, that should be the flan tagline. We should make shirts. If we open up a merch shop, virtual
Flan,
handshake. Yeah.
no teeth.
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's we can refine
We
it
gotta see
later,
Hey,
but I
Shark
think
Tank.
yeah, I think we're onto something.
Mhm.
Well, as the Roman Empire crumbled, the custard survived, evolving during the medieval period. By this time, eggs weren't just associated with fertility and life, but also, let's say it all together, Lenten fasting. Yeah, during Lent, meat was off the table, but eggs were sometimes allowed, especially in the form of egg heavy dishes like custards. In medieval cookbooks, such as La Viandier or the English form of curry, compiled around 1390, we start seeing recipes for custards served in pastry, flaky crusts with soft fillings, which were the precursors to both flan and quiche.
Mm.
Maybe that's kind of like our opportunity to add those textural pieces, but
Yes.
we'll keep it out of the custards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the quiche is the distant cousin of
Yes.
flan.
Right, right, right. Not the same.
No, the French cousin.
Uh-huh. Oui, oui. Still, flan was mostly savory through the Middle Ages. Sweet versions made with honey and eventually sugar, as sugar became more widely available through Arab influence and trade, started appearing in the Renaissance period. The shift coincided with bigger changes in the European diet, especially as sugar went from being a luxury item to something more accessible. Oscar, what's one luxury that you wish was more accessible?
Oh my gosh. You know what? I live in Los Angeles. A luxury that I wish was more accessible is takeout food at any time of the night.
Ooh. Mhm.
Everything closes so early, and you're like, what if you're hungry at like 10 p.m.? You have a very limited places to go eat, and I love me some takeout food. So
Yeah.
I wish that there because I'm originally from New York, so
So you're kinda missing where you
exactly a
could get that
bodega,
3 AM
a kingdom
situation.
for a bodega is what I
Yes.
say.
How regal.
Yeah, I want more bodegas in LA.
Okay, LA, do you hear this? Mayor of LA,
Let's get
we
it.
want more options. I mean, I think what would be kind of a cool concept, I don't know if any entrepreneurs out there wanna do this. They have a bunch I can't speak to LA, so maybe you could tell me or build engagement, somebody out there comment that in New York there are a lot of ghost kitchens, and
Yeah.
I think that maybe if somebody was like, oh, we want to do kind of a late night ghost kitchen where we have some different chefs up in here, maybe it's rotating or whatnot, and that could be the kind of late night hub for delivery, so it doesn't necessarily have to be up to the independent restaurants, but maybe
That's
I don't know, we
true.
yeah, I
Maybe
don't know,
you know how,
just an
like,
idea.
they have, like, food like, in malls, they have food courts?
Oh, sure.
If there is, like, a ghost kitchen that's like a food court that is just one giant
Yes, they have similar concepts like that in New
ooh,
York, where it's like a few different yeah, there's maybe I don't know, I haven't ordered from them, but I think it's maybe like 4 or 5 different kind of concepts. I'm
mhm.
using air quotes for lack of a better term, and you can order from them, but they all have the same kind of home base, like pickup, where you can
Same
do
location.
pickup or delivery or whatever. So you have options. But I mean, we don't even have to get that fancy to start. We could just have one place that's like, hey, I will deliver to you at all hours of the night.
Period. Yeah,
Right?
like, let's just have a place that's open for 24 hours that, isn't a Denny's.
All right, so that's what we're petitioning
I know.
for. Give Oscar his luxury. Give Oscar his
Yeah,
luxury.
come on.
Well, our story now brings us to Spain, the country that arguably perfected sweet flan and made it a
Ooh,
culinary export. The Spanish likely developed the modern version of flan de leche, a custard made from eggs, milk, and sugar topped with caramel, creating the signature layer that makes flan flan. And due to Catholic feast days and religious fasting rules, flan became a favorite dish for holy days because it was rich yet meat free. Hallelujah. By the time of the Reconquista, 5th to 18th centuries, and the Spanish Golden Age, around the 15th to 17th centuries, flan had become a dessert, no longer a savory dish. It's also worth noting that sugar production was booming due to Spain's colonies in the Caribbean and Latin America. Sugarcane plantations, which were fueled by enslaved labor, provided raw materials that made sweet flan possible on a large scale. So while flan may seem simple and humble, its history is tied to colonialism and global trade, especially the sugar trade. You see, when the Spanish ships crossed the Atlantic in the 16th century, they carried the conquistadors, colonists, and clergy. Many Spanish colonial expeditions included cooks, both Spanish-born and those from other parts of the empire. Their job was to replicate familiar dishes using whatever ingredients were available in these new territories. And of course, along with those people came recipes and techniques that had been refined over centuries in Europe. Among them, flan. Catholic missionaries in particular played a key role. Convents and monasteries were epicenters of cooking and baking, and custards like flan were often made for feast days, weddings, and baptisms. The Spanish quickly established sugar plantations in the Caribbean, especially in Hispaniola, Cuba, and Puerto Rico, and in Mexico, using enslaved labor to produce vast quantities. This meant that sweetened dishes like flan could be made more often, and not just for the elite. Oscar, so while we recognize that the way sugar became more accessible is super messed up, we do see this in history a lot where because ingredients become more abundant, they
right.
become more accessible and democratized. Shifting this to your world though, as an actor and comedian, do you think that the rise of social media platforms has made opportunities more abundant and accessible for those trying to break into the industry, or do you think it's made
Oh,
it more saturated?
that's such an interesting question. I think because of social media, it is now an element to the career of performing and
Mm,
trying to make it. I think the expectation certainly is to engage in social media where I have been to many auditions where where people do ask like, "Great, amazing, you were great. Just one quick question. How many social media followers do you have?" And
they
like
ask
that.
this?
Oh, fully, yes. They're very it's like
Can't they?
part
That's also a little bit lazy. Can't they just look that up?
absolutely 100% they are.
Like, to ask, that's so weird.
There's kind of something crazy, especially when it comes to commercial work, because a lot of people because that's essentially what a lot of social media influencers do. They
Mm,
are people who like sort of are brand ambassadors for a specific brand, and that has translated into the commercial world where it's like, great, we love your take on this product. We just want to make sure that you know how to sell this product. How many social media followers do you have? Any brand deals that you're associated with, so that there's no conflict there. So social media is very heavily in the conversation. To them, it's like, oh, someone with a higher social media account will have eyes on this show versus someone with no social media presence at all. It's kind of tough, but it sort of prevents this idea of like discovering talent, which is sort of
yeah.
not really a thing anymore. But yeah, it's like a double-edged sword. It's great because you are responsible for the brand that you're putting out into the universe and then attracting any professional gigs out of that. But on the other hand, you're also limiting the potential of like honest hard work just from
Mm.
the source material.
Right, and then at that point, what does that do for them? But I think that they probably just take it very superficially, and they're like, oh, all of these followers
Yes.
equals all these people who will absolutely be tuning in or looking at what this project is, where it's like they may like this person because they make silly content where all they do, I'm just making these things up, where all they do is like, lip sync certain things, right? Like
Yes.
maybe that's their shtick.
Yeah.
And unless the commercial or the show is purely just that, it's not going to necessarily I mean, but
Translate.
like
I mean,
now
we
I'm thinking about it too much now, like which is
no, but
silly,
I think
but
you're totally right. I don't think that it necessarily translates, but to some people, it is just the numbers game.
right, exactly.
You
They're
know?
like it's better than not to have them.
Yes,
So
exactly.
right. Okay. I get it. Ah, interesting. Well, thank you for that. I feel like I definitely learned something new that is both a little bit scary, but also very interesting.
Yeah, it's
And
all very bizarre. The industry is changing before our very eyes. It's not
mm,
the same that it was, I would say, like pre-pandemic. So
right. True.
we're all trying to
Oh,
make it work. We're all
yeah.
trying to work.
Amen. Well, flan became popular in Spanish colonies for several reasons. For starters, ingredient accessibility. Chickens, cows, and goats thrived in the Americas, ensuring a steady supply of eggs and milk. Then there was adaptability. Flan recipes could be adjusted to available resources. If a cow's milk wasn't around, goat's milk was used. If sugar was scarce, honey or panela, unrefined cane sugar, subbed in. In colonial Latin America, the bain marie, our water bath, was the standard method even then. In areas without metal baking dishes, cooks would use earthenware cazuelas or even small glazed pots placed inside larger, water filled vessels and cooked in wood fired ovens. The caramel was made by heating sugar in a small pan until golden, then pouring it into the mold before adding the custard. The custard mixture was strained for smoothness before being poured over the caramel. In coastal regions where fuel could be scarce, flan was sometimes steamed rather than baked, producing a slightly different and firmer texture. There were different variations too, like coconut milk flan. Coconut palms were abundant in the Caribbean and coastal areas of Central America. Cooks substituted coconut milk for dairy, creating a richer tropical variation still popular in Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic today. Then there's panela or piloncillo flan. In rural Mexico and parts of South America, unrefined cane sugar was used in place of white sugar, giving flan a deeper molasses-like sweetness and darker caramel. And spice flan was introduced by Moorish and indigenous culinary traditions. Some colonial flans included cinnamon, clove, or vanilla, vanilla being a New World native first cultivated in Mexico. By the late 1700s, flan had become so integrated into colonial food culture that it wasn't just viewed as a foreign Spanish dish anymore. It was simply part of local tradition. Oscar, if you're creating your own little spin, your own unique flan, what does it look like?
Oh my gosh, my very own. I would put
Yeah.
pistachios on the flan.
Okay.
Yeah, like maybe dust the plateau, the mesa top of the flan with some pistachios. I think that would add a nice touch to them.
Ooh, and now would you even maybe perhaps make it a little meta and make it with like pistachio milk?
Ooh, of course. Oh my
Obviously.
gosh. Yes, nut milks exist, of course. Let's get creative. Also, the fact that you said coconut milk, I have never had a flan with coconut milk, but I'm like, wait a second. That's, yes, of course, the flavor of the coconut milk complements the flan so well. Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
Wow.
Oh, great. We've got a whole little list here of the ones for you to try. Maybe, I mean, I don't know.
Absolutely.
Maybe we start with like classic just to start so we get our bearings, right? Like our training wheels. And then when we are empowered and ready to rock, we can start doing all these different you're going to have your own flan company before you know it.
Oh
I
my
can
gosh.
see
And
it.
then if we're bold enough, the boss level of this could be savory flan.
Oh, I'm saying, well, yeah, because remember you have this pop-up coming up,
That's
so
that's right.
don't forget, it happened here. It's recorded. Well, today, flan is globally beloved. In Spain, it's still a staple of traditional meals. In Latin America, it's served at birthdays, holidays, and Sunday dinners. And in the United States, flan has become increasingly mainstream, thanks in part to Latinx communities and media visibility. You'll find flan in cookbooks, cooking shows, and of course, TikTok. And don't forget Japan, where flan's cousin, pudding, a Japanese caramel custard, is
Oh
very
my goodness.
popular. Oh,
Yum! I love pudding.
okay. Have
It's
you had it?
oh, of course. Oh my gosh. I have a
Okay.
friend. Her
Okay.
name is Mimi. She
Mm-hmm.
lives in Japan, and every time she comes to visit me, she knows to get me pudding. It's my favorite. It's like you're right. It is flan's cousin. It's so good. Japanese. Okay, first of all, Japanese sweets, 10 out of 10. Like no notes
Yes.
at
Yeah.
all. They're perfect, but their custard desserts are at another level. They just function on a higher level. They're better than anything I've had in the States. Their food is also better than anything I've had in the States. Have you
Okay.
been to Japan?
It is on my list.
Oh my God, you will. It first of all, it's such a beautiful, cool, unique, awesome country. But aside from that, the food. Now we're talking about food. This is a food podcast. Let's not forget
Mhm.
the
Yes.
food is really. You will have like I went to I like the equivalent of a Dunkin' Donuts of
Okay.
Japan called Komeda Coffee, and I had their like an egg salad sandwich. Like it's truly not. It's like a chain rest. It's like nothing. I had an egg salad sandwich there, and it is the best thing I've ever. I'm like, oh, I haven't eaten food before. It turns out, like, food doesn't taste like this in the States at all. This is the best, and the kombini stores, the 7-Elevens of Japan.
Yes, the 7-Elevens, I
It's an
know.
experience. It's all so good. Oh my gosh, sorry. I just went on a full-on
No.
rant, but
I mean,
in
listen,
conclusion,
yeah, okay.
pudding is good.
Yes, period. Well, in Mexico, there's flan napolitano made with sweetened condensed milk, evaporated milk, and sometimes cream cheese, giving it a dense, rich texture. There's coffee flan, a 20th century innovation that incorporates brewed coffee or instant coffee into the custard. There's choco flan, known as pastel imposible, impossible cake. This dessert layers chocolate cake and flan in one pan where the two switch places during baking. In Puerto Rico and the Caribbean, coconut flan is still being made. In Cuba, there's flan de leche condensada, which relies heavily on sweetened condensed milk for richness, and flan de queso with cream cheese. In South America, dulce de leche flan, in places like Argentina and Uruguay, incorporates dulce de leche into the custard, creating a caramel on caramel effect. In Spain, tocino de cielo is related to flan, but made almost entirely with egg yolks and sugar syrup, giving it a richer, silkier finish. And in the Philippines, there's leche flan, introduced during Spanish colonial rule. This Filipino version is thicker and denser than most Latin versions, often steamed rather than baked, and made with more egg yolks and traditionally served at celebrations. Today, flan has even gone savory again in fine dining settings, echoing its Roman origins. Chefs will also play with infusions with lavender, matcha, and saffron, even pumpkin for that PSL season. Flan is that jiggly dessert that spans empires and centuries. Born in Rome, refined in Spain, and beloved across Latin America, it's a dish that tells the story of migration, adaptation, and culinary creativity. It reminds us that food is history, culture, and identity. So next time you spoon into that glossy custard, remember, you're tasting 2,000 years of culinary evolution swimming in caramel. Oscar, what do you think about the backstory of flan?
It's insanely fascinating. I talk about flan all the time, and people will ask like, "Oh, is that a Colombian main dish?" And my answer is always like, "I don't know, actually. I have no idea." But now I know for sure that it is a Roman dish brought to the Americas, and it's innovative. It's so versatile. It's such a versatile dessert. I've learned so much, and I realize that even though I am a flan connoisseur, I
Mm-hmm.
still have a lot more connoisseuring to do.
Oh,
I'm going to be on a quest to taste every flavor of flan imaginable. That'll be my goal. So you've
listen.
inspired me to
Oh,
go on a quest.
well, that's beautiful. And I love that. And you know what? Maybe, you had mentioned we were talking about the social media and that you don't post that frequently, which is probably best for your mental health. But what if you were to create a little mini
Wait a
series where you
second.
try all of these different flans and then you
Oh my
talk about it and
gosh.
you eat them and you
Wait
share
a
your
second.
experience? I don't know. Easy content because you would enjoy doing that. So it wouldn't feel like work probably.
That's oh my gosh. Wow, I have to
And you
give you
have your own little
10%.
flan. Well, obviously, yeah. It's recorded. It happened here. Our
Yeah.
virtual handshake part two.
That's right.
Yes. Yeah, but I mean that I would watch that. I think that
Oh,
would be a lot of fun.
ooh, yeah. No, I'm actually like, it'd be fun to like try it with someone who's never had flan before or not that
Oh,
specific kind of flan and have them talk about it too. What a great idea.
just something, take it or leave it, but if you
Have
do
you?
take it, 10%. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. I'm like, yes, I love it. Oh my gosh. No teeth.
No teeth. Again, here we are again with our catchphrase.
This is the name of the episode today. No teeth.
I think there might be a lot of clicks for that. I'll keep you posted. Maybe we'll do some A/B testing and see what sticks. Well, flan is certainly a popular dessert, and it's made some cameos in media and pop culture.
Ooh.
The town of Cuisine in France has Fête du Flan, where they've entered the Guinness World Record books and made flan that was. Oscar, do you want to guess what the diameter of this flan
Oh
was?
my gosh. Okay, so I'm assuming it's huge.
You can do meters or feet,
I know
whatever
it's
you'd
like
like.
let's be international here.
Okay.
20 meters.
Oh, I love your confidence in your favorite food, and I do wish it was that, but it was 5.1 meters or over 16 feet, which is like
That's huge.
it's not bad. That's
Yeah.
pretty sizable flan. Yeah.
Did people eat it or is it just like for show and then
I
they
really
sort of
hope they
scrapped it?
ate it. I
I know,
really
I
hope
hope
they
so
ate
too.
it. A lot of times in these mentions in the book, it doesn't say like P.S. They dined and feast on it, and the whole town was happy. I wish they gave
I
a beautiful
know.
story, but they're just pretty brass tacks, and they're like,
Yeah, they're like, it's
"This is what
big.
happened." Yeah,
Yeah, it didn't taste good, but it
it
was big.
right. It was huge. End of story. Yeah.
Yeah.
In 1997, season 1, episode 14 of the show Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Sabrina creates a massive flan to feed her classmates. And I saw this clip and I'm like, this is probably what that flan looked like.
Wow.
It wasn't a real flan, spoily, but it was an excellent prop and it was huge. There's a 2002 episode of the cartoon Courage the Cowardly Dog where two of the characters are hypnotized by a TV ad for Fantasy Flan, becoming obsessed with the dessert, frantically searching for more. In the 2004 comedy movie Envy, starring Ben Stiller and Jack Black, they come up with a product called Pocket Flan, which may or may not be a good name, but basically it's a flan in a squeezable tube like toothpaste. Oscar, if you were a shark on Shark Tank, would you invest in this product?
I would have questions.
Okay.
Namely, what is it like? How are we building the top part of it? The
Hmm.
mesa of the flan. Is that incorporated into the tube? Are we getting the mesa tube first or are we getting to the mesa tube end?
Aha.
Do you know what I mean? These are serious
Yes.
questions if I want to
No.
invest in a pocket flan, you know?
100%. These are excellent clarifying questions. Yes.
You take some of that magic away
Yes.
with a pocket flan.
Right.
I will consume it.
Right. It's like emergency flan. Like
Exactly. Yeah, you just
just
need
out of
that hit.
necessity.
Here we go.
Exactly. Okay, so maybe I don't know, maybe you're back on board. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
And then there are countless blogs and recipe sites online with over 1 million tags on Instagram and loads of recipe videos on TikTok and YouTube. Oscar, are there any other pop culture moments that you can think of where flan made its mark?
I don't think so. But I do want to give a shout out to my favorite flan place, if I may.
Yes, please shout them
Okay.
out.
So I want to give a shout out to Flan King, which is an
Okay.
LA based business. It is kind of a ghost kitchen of flan. You go to the website and they have a huge list of flan, like any kind of flan that you want. Banana flan, you got it. Mango flan, you got it. Strawberry flan, you got this. Like all kinds of flan, and then you call them
Mhm.
and you ask what kind of flan you want, what size of flan you want, and then they will send you a pickup location. And then you go meet them at the pickup location, and then you give them money, you get the flan. I know.
This is like a drug deal.
I know it sounds
Is
really.
this legit? You've done
It's.
this before,
I've
I'm
done it
assuming?
a trillion times.
Oh my God.
It's the best flan I've ever had, and it's
OMG.
always so incredible. But it is very funny the way in which they ask. They're like, "Okay, meet us here. I'm by my car. You got the flan. Here's the money. Good
What the
day.
heck?
Goodbye." It's It's wild. It's very wild.
So the
But
pickup location does it change every
oh, it
time?
changes.
Or,
Yes, absolutely. It changes.
oh,
It changes.
do they and they don't tell you before? Like, how do you know? Like, oh no, I'm at the opposite part of town. Traffic's gonna be terrible. Like, oh wow,
Oh,
you
because
have
you
to.
you like exchange numbers, so you have their number, you have their information. So they're
Yeah.
like, okay, we're gonna be here at this time. Meet us
Uh-huh.
there. Okay, here we go. And if they are late, which has never happened, they've
Okay,
always
shout
been on
out
time.
Flan King.
So they show up, and it's great. It's great. It's just great. It's the best flan I have ever had in my entire life.
What an exciting experience too.
Yes,
Just the
exactly. It's like a little thrilling too.
Yeah,
Hmm.
like, "Ooh, I'm going out on my flan
Yeah.
quest, and here's my order, and I will wait for my text message, and
Yeah.
I will meet at the location." And then do they give you any kind of, like, dignifying qualities to look for? Like, I'm wearing a
Yeah,
yellow
they'll say like the
shirt or like
car or something.
oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
it's
so,
yeah.
know,
So you
not
you don't ask a
not
random
just
stranger, "Can I
right.
get the flan?" You know?
Yeah. They'll be like, "Is that code for something? I'm
Yeah.
scared." Yeah.
You end up getting
Wow.
drugs accidentally.
Wow, what a cool yeah, if not everybody in LA is currently doing this, you should. If you visit
Oh,
LA, you
absolutely.
must. What a fun and delicious sounding treat. Wow, that is okay, bookmarking that, putting that on my list. It's before I get to Japan, it's a little bit
Yeah.
closer, so this can be like my
How
build up
about
to that.
en route to Japan? You stop by
Layover in
LA.
LA, hell yeah.
Absolutely. Get a little
Oh,
flan and then go to Japan, get pudding, and you're good.
chef's kiss.
The sweet
Oscar,
treat tour.
oh my god, I love it. Oscar, thank you so much
Oh my
for
gosh, thank
helping me
you.
for sharing your love of flan and helping me to tell its story.
Yeah, and thank you so much for educating me on my favorite food. I didn't know any of this stuff, so now I know. Now I can really say flan is my favorite food, and I know its historical context.
Thanks for watching. You can find links and more info in the description below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. See you next time.